ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Let my speech and mind work together in harmony. Let the knowledge of the self reveal and grow inside me. Let my mind and speech support and help me understand the truths taught by the Vedic teachings. Let me be diligent in learning Vedic scriptures day and night, and let me not forget the knowledge gained. I will speak about the divine truth. I speak about the absolute truth. And may that truth protect me and my teacher. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Sri Lakshmi Prasada Siddhyarthe Jape Homeva Vinyogaha. So we are studying the Sri Suktam, the actual Sri Suktam consisting of 15 ruks. We have already completed. Now we have to deal with what is called Phalasiddhi. What do we get? That is where the 16th rik comes, and thereafterwards an additional 13 riks have been added by various great people, and they are also so beautiful. We are going to study even those 13, but at the same time in a very brief manner, not as elaborate. In fact, these 13 which have been added later on, they are in the modern Sanskrit language, not the archaic Rigvedic language. So they are much, much easier to understand. Even the very words indicate to us, even if people do not know Sanskrit, the meanings are crystal clear rather. In our last class, we have concluded, but just to recollect what we have studied. This is a prayer not directly to Divine Mother Lakshmi, but a prayer to Agni Devata. Let us remember, in all the Vedas, in the past, people used to lit the fire, offer oblations, and through the Agni Devata, Agni himself is also offered oblations, but Agni is considered what we call nowadays Purohita, that is a temple priest. In the olden days, Vedic time, there were no temples. Nature itself is the temple. So worshipping the sun, the moon, and the Pancha Bhutas called Pancha Devata, and various Indra, Varuna, etc., who are all the manifestations of only Saguna Brahma called Ishvara. The word Ishvara came later on, but Hiranyagarbha, we get about it a lot. We study in the Chandogya as well as Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which are considered to be quite thousands of years old, archaic. So, these earlier days, Purohit, what used to be called Purohita, nowadays, who is called Pujari, they are equivalent. So there are so many of these rigs, prayers addressed to the Divine Mother, but through the Agni Devata. So first two we have seen, and the last three also we have seen. This word Jataveda comes, and then in this last one also we are seeing Jataveda. This is a prayer. What is the prayer? He Jataveda, tam ma mahyam avaha. Please invite, and you yourself lead her so that she comes. Where? To me. And to me means what? Inside me, outside me. What does that mean? Inside me, that means in my heart, in my mind. That is what is meant by inside. What is the difference between mind and heart? Mind is full of thoughts. So beautiful, divine thoughts, contemplations, upasanas. That is called mind. Heart means complete upasana, feeling that you are my mother, you are the mother of everybody, not only my mother. So you are the Divine Mother, and accepting you, there is nothing in this world. The whole universe is nothing but the manifestation of the Divine Mother in the form of Nama, Rupa and Guna, and each differentiated by Sattva Guna, Raja Guna and Tamo Guna. So manifestation of the Divine, whether you call it Brahman or Ishvara or Divine Mother or Shakti, it doesn't really matter. So please bring that Divine Mother. What happens? She will manifest herself in the form of auspicious qualities. This is so graphically put in the Durga Saptashati, Chandi. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Chetaneti Vidhiyate, then goes on. A catalogue of all the qualities, what we consider not only the positive, but also the negative qualities. For example, Kshuddha Rupena, Trishna Rupena, Bhranti Rupena. Positive qualities, Vidya Rupena, Yasho Rupena, Lakshmi Rupena, Buddhi Rupena, then Kshama Rupena, Daya Rupena, Kanti Rupena, Jati Rupena, Lajja Rupena, etc., etc. All the qualities that we encounter in various human beings, they are nothing but the manifestations of the Divine Mother. Our physical bodies are the manifestations of the gross 5 elements. Our mind, including buddhi, are the manifestations of the same 5 elements, we call them in English language, but Panchabhutas, but in a very subtle form called Tanmatras. Subtle doesn't mean small. Subtle means that which is not accessible to any of our 5 sense organs, whether it be extended by microscope, telescope, no scope will reveal them, excepting Vedanta scope. So, the whole universe, Jagat, consisting of both the body and mind, outside and inside, is nothing but a manifestation, first of all, Nama, Rupa, Guna, forms, names, and qualities. But each one manifesting a combination of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. But we think we are unique. We are separate from God, separate from the Divine Mother. So here is a beautiful prayer. O Mother, so you will have to come to me. But I do not have the capacity to invite you. But just as if we wish to have an appointment with the PM or President, we have to go through somebody who is close to these highly placed persons. Similarly, we have to go through the Agni Devata. And as we discussed earlier, Agni stands for the fire. Fire is symbolic. What does it do? One of the greatest qualities of the fire is purification. So you boil the water, water becomes pure. Then you heat the iron or silver, any metal, it becomes pure by getting rid of all the dross. Not only that, by putting in the fire, we can make different shapes according to our wish. And that is what the Divine Mother is. Our fire brings that Divine Mother. And who is the Divine Mother? It is fire itself. Fire is a manifestation of the Divine Mother who acts as go-between, like Garuda. I mentioned earlier, if you remember, Garuda is equated with Guru, especially in the South Indian tradition, because he brings God from Vaikuntha. It is a popular mythological interpretation. God is living in Vaikuntha. It is long distance off, and then we cannot climb there, and then he has to be brought. So God himself, his own, a bit of his compassion, takes the form of a guru, and guru brings God to us, and he who carries the God to each one of us, he is called a guru. So Agni is also like that only, he who brings every Devata. And I want to share, even though I have spoken about it earlier, a Devata is not like a person having something. A rich man has a lot of riches, but he is not the richest. He is separate, riches are separate. So he can be there, riches can go away. Riches may be there, he may disappear, he may die. But when we say fire, the heating power of fire or the lighting power of fire, they are his very nature. If there is heat, that means there is fire. And if there is light, there is fire. If there is fire, there is light and heat. So, Surya Devata, sunlight. The light is the sun, sun is the light. So, grace of God and God are not two separate things. So, you bring the Divine Mother, and what is the Divine Mother? She is consisting of both the manifest and the unmanifest. The unmanifest is her real nature before creation. Her manifest aspect is whatever we see, including ourselves. But if that same Divine Mother manifests in me, I would not stay. Either she is there or I am there. That is complete surrender. This is called, what does the fire do? It will remove my kara, ahankara. And what remains is you can call it Atma, can call it Paramatma, call it Divine Mother. It doesn't really matter. So fire has that quality. So he first purifies us, and then he brings the light. What is the light? You are the light. We become the fire. We become the light. And that light can take a shape of Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati, or Vishnu, Brahma, or Shiva, or Jesus, or Buddha, or any form. Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa. This is how we have to understand. The 15th is a prayer to the Agni Devata, O God of fire, Jata Veda, because he knows everything. Because everything is the manifestation of friction. Fire means friction. So anything, the scientist's mind, and then the knowledge. Deep thinking is this concept of upasana or contemplation, or in other words, creating through friction.